Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Raphael Washington. I'm the Wayne County Sheriff, along with Jocelyn Benson, our Secretary of State. So I just wanted to take a few minutes to let you all know what we're doing here today. We have the chance now and opportunity to collaborate together, Secretary of State and Wayne County Sheriff's Office, as it relates to those who will be leaving our facility and going back into the community. Because everyone, our inmate population is what I'm talking about, and everyone with that we have incarcerated here in the Wayne County Sheriff's Office will not be going to prison. They're going to be going back out into the community. And we wanted to be in a position where when we let them out, when they go back out into the community, that they be in a position where they're better than when they came here. So how does that happen? We came up with an idea that these people who are leaving us, they need to have identification. They're going to be going out trying to get jobs, and we all know in order to get a job, you have to have identification. And so some of them that are in our facility, they do not have identification, and well, us along with the Secretary of State, we're going to be able to get them identification. And we're very proud of that. We're working together to make sure that happens because we believe and we know that if we provide a way for them to be successful when they leave here, then they don't come back here. And that's what we want to happen, want to see happen. We want to actually be run out of the jail business, period, one day, right? Mm-hmm. So this is a start, and we're very proud of it. And our Secretary of State, Jocelyn Benson, is going to give you some more information, but that's our part, is that we want to make sure that we let them out, and when they get out, that they stay out and don't have to come back and see us anymore. So, Secretary of State,
Thank you,
please
Sheriff.
come in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Good afternoon. I'm so grateful to be here with these incredible public servants and leaders to highlight the work that we're doing in partnership with Sheriff Washington and all of Wayne County. When I first took office as Secretary of State in 2019, I made it the department's mission to make government work by meeting people where they are, bringing our services directly into communities. And we've made a lot of progress. We've increased our online services so people don't have to come into a branch office for a majority of transactions. We installed self-service stations at Meijer's and Kroger stores around the state so that Michiganders can renew their tabs or license while doing their grocery shopping. And we reduced wait times at our branch offices so that when people do have to come to one of our offices, they are in and out in an average of 20 minutes or less. But there is still more we had to do. There are many communities that have been historically underserved by this department and by state government as a whole. Communities that have to have equal access to securing things like a driver's license or a state ID if we're all going to thrive. And these are communities that haven't been adequately engaged or informed about where, when, or how to vote, or even if they're eligible. So one of our most overlooked and underserved communities includes Michigan's returning citizens and eligible voters who are currently in jail. So in 2020, we launched a partnership with the Michigan Department of Corrections to get returning citizens a state ID or driver's license at the time of their release. And you know, people deserve to be able to move forward after serving their time. Having an ID is a critical first step to doing that. You need an ID, as the sheriff said, to apply for a job. You need an ID for housing. You need an ID to enroll in education and training programs. And securing a state ID or driver's license through this program helps returning citizens get registered to vote once they're eligible. This program has been incredibly successful across our state, with over 98% of people leaving prison returning home with their state of Michigan ID or driver's license. That's approximately 20,000 returning citizens who have secured their state ID or driver's license through our program. Those 20,000 people are also eligible to update their voter registration and vote upon notification that they have left prison. And since September 2020, we have gone from about 400 transactions per year for returning citizens statewide to an average of more than 6,000 per year. So building on that success, we launched a similar partnership at every county level. Our mobile Secretary of State offices visits a jail, and then staff members meet one-on-one with residents to access their required documents, get their photo taken, and take any necessary driving or vision exams for a renewed driver's license. And upon their release, people receive their ID or driver's license without delay. For Michiganders who are still incarcerated in the county jail, many can register and vote so long as they are not serving a sentence. And we've partnered with Kent County, Ingham County, Genesee, and Washtenaw counties to offer this innovative program. And today, we're here to launch our partnership with the County of Wayne, Wayne County, and Sheriff Washington. We're so happy to be able to expand our service to Michigan's largest county. Our mobile office is here today at the jail, and will be helping people secure their driver's license or ID so they will be ready on the day they return to their communities. Our goal is to further expand this work to serve returning citizens and to ensure that every citizen who is eligible and wants to vote can do so. Now, that said, there's a lot of misinformation and stigma around returning citizens eligible to vote. So our department is working with Nation Outside, Black Voters Matter, Voting Access for All Coalition, Here to Help, and other organizations to help dismantle these myths and ensure eligible Michigan citizens can make their voices heard, no matter where they currently reside. And to be clear, Michigan does not disenfranchise citizens who were formerly incarcerated. So if you are a returning citizen, you are eligible to register and vote. You're eligible to register and vote if you're currently residing in a county jail and not serving a sentence. And we have a great video about this on our Michigan Department of State YouTube channel. I encourage you all to check it out. September is National Voter Registration Month, and we want to encourage all eligible Michiganders to register to vote. And I'm proud of the work we're doing in Wayne County and all across Michigan. Our state is a national leader in voter turnout, and our work with returning citizens here and throughout the state should serve as a model for the rest of the country. This is what it means to have government work for people, meeting people where they are so that they can participate as full citizens in our workforce and in our democracy. I look forward to continuing this work and ensuring our constitutional promise of one person, one vote is made real for every eligible citizen. Now I'm going to invite Sheriff Washington back up to share some comments.
So our Secretary of State said it all, and again, I don't want to be redundant. However, it's very important to know that we at the Wayne County Sheriff's Office, we're adamant about giving people a position, putting them in position, those our resident population that is here, that when they leave, that they leave better than which they came. And I say that over and over and over again because it's necessary to give those who are leaving us a chance in the community to thrive and be gainfully employed. And that's important to us because if we do that, then they don't end up back here. And that's important for us. So if you all had any questions, we'll answer them. Yes, sir.
You said that Michigan is a national leader in voter turnout. I think it was we were the third highest last year. 74%, I think it was, eligible voters. You don't know the numbers.
I think it's 79.
79, that's even better. An issue I talked to you about, and we've been talking with Janice Winfrey. I'm interested to hear, Sheriff Washington, your take. How do you get more voters in Detroit to get out? We saw a really low number. I guess what's your take on it?
Sure. So, I really don't have a take on it because I don't know why people are not getting out to vote. Sometimes you hear the things that, oh, my vote doesn't matter. Why do I need to vote? You need to vote and be the change and make the change happen that you want to see. And we can only do that by voting. And so I don't know why they're not. We're constantly asking people to vote. I'm out on the street asking people to vote because if we vote, they win. And if you don't vote, then you don't win. So come out and vote, please. We're asking people every day, to come out and vote.
And as you're a resident of Detroit, I guess, what's the disparity between statewide voters versus this historic figure in Detroit is very low?
Yeah, well, undoubtedly, we've had 3 back-to-back highest turnout elections in our state's history since 2020. And similarly, we lead the nation in youth vote turnout, with young people voting in our state. But still, we see a lot of historically marginalized communities still not participating at levels that match that higher turnout. And that is something that keeps me up at night because I desperately want communities' voices to be heard. And we need sort of a cycle of neglect that we need to address, where you don't oftentimes have elected officials listening to communities who then, as a result of feeling unheard, don't participate and don't see the value of participating. So one of the things I've done as Secretary of State is look at those precincts, those neighborhoods where people aren't voting, not just in Detroit, but in Flint, in Jackson, Michigan, in the west side of the state, Benton Harbor. And I've gone to those communities and I've said, what can we do better as a state to ensure that your voice is heard, and also ensure this process is something that's worth you participating in, because we need your voice. And I've heard two things. Number one, a lot of people who care very much about the state, but don't see the political process as something that's responsive to them. And so we've got a lot of work to do to rebuild trust and ensure those voices are heard and involved in every decision, from economic development, education, and healthcare, and all the rest. But the second thing I've heard, actually almost as much as that first, is people thinking they're not eligible to vote because they have a criminal history. And so programs like this are key to helping us ensure that people know that they can vote after they've served their sentence. And that's why it's actually what enabled us and led us to start involving ourselves and leading in these programs all across the state. But I do think we want to make sure folks know their rights and know that they can vote. I had one citizen actually in Jackson say, when did they change that law? I thought I couldn't vote all this time. And I said, you always have been able to vote, and it's on us to make sure returning citizens know that, and that's why programs like this are so important.
And if I can just piggyback on that as well, we in the Wayne County Sheriff's Office, we have various organizations that come in and they allow and make way for those, our resident population to actually vote. We register them to vote, the organizations do, and then they provide a way for them to vote. And I think that's very important because they do need to be heard. They haven't been convicted of anything. And so we want to make sure that they get a chance to vote. And so we do set that up for them, and we're proud to do that.
Just to put these numbers in context, Secretary Benson, Sheriff Washington, can you say how many people are coming through lockup that don't have IDs or aren't registered to vote? And in cities and counties where you have had this, how many more people have been registered through this program?
We've registered 20,000 people across the state through this program, and that's a significant uptick of what we had seen previously, where you saw when an average of 400 folks per year versus 6,000 folks per year who are returning citizens or getting IDs. There's clearly a gap there. And we also look at data and percentages, and the fact that 98% of returning citizens in counties and in the state that are part of this program are getting those IDs. That shows us that where there was a gap before, with only 400 on average per year getting that, the fact that there's now 6,000 and we've reached that 98% mark means that we are finding the folks who don't have those IDs or driver's licenses and making sure they do.
And I just got word from my chief of jails and courts that we have about 60%. Well, about 60% of those who are incarcerated here, they do not have identification. So we're looking forward to changing that and making sure that they do.
So this is just a logistics question, but so is this gonna be like actually when they get out of lockup here, they're gonna be able to get their ID, or do they have to go to one of your offices?
No, we brought the office here today. The mobile office actually is a functional office just like a branch office. So we actually bring the mobile offices to the jails, to the prisons, and then process people, get photos taken, get paperwork filled out, address any sort of past issues that may need to be, like a vision test or a driver's test, that may need to happen. We do that on the spot here. We come to people where they are, and then as soon as they are out and eligible, they get that license right away without having to go to a branch.
And can they register to vote at the time too at the mobile office?
Yes, you can always register to vote if you're eligible at the office, and that registration goes into effect upon release.
So before their release, when the van comes here, they can get registered, and then once they're released, then they physically get that?
Correct.
ID?
They basically fill out everything, submit everything, and then they receive everything when they're on the other side and officially a returning citizen. And the key point is they don't have to do anything additional after they leave prison or after they've served their time to be registered to vote and get their ID.
Thank you. What would it take to expand this program statewide, and is there money in the budget you're asking for to make that happen for the fiscal year 26 budget?
Yeah, really what it's going to take are partnerships with sheriffs. That's been, and frankly, a key partnership as well has been County Executive Warren Evans, who actually came to me and said, I see you doing this in Genesee and Kent, I want you to do it in Wayne. We talked with the sheriff, he was willing, because we need the sheriffs to be willing to open up the facilities and allow us in. So that partnership is the most important thing, and we would ask and hope that sheriffs, in Oakland County and Macomb County and elsewhere would consider partnering with our office. And I'm for programs like this, and I'm particularly proud that now we are in our state's largest county, but we want to continue to grow through those partnerships.
So this is a problem of, or is an issue of willingness, not funding?
It is, first and foremost, we need willingness. We need willing partners at the county level. Our funding is set through our mobile offices. Now, certainly the budget negotiations now is sort of an ongoing issue of funding, and I certainly wouldn't support any budget decision that would cut funding to programs like this. But because we have, with our budget, launched 7 mobile branches all across the state, what those partnerships then enable us to activate is just to bring those existing mobile offices and staff to a prison on a day when they otherwise might be going somewhere else. And our mobile offices are oftentimes all around the state at senior centers, homeless shelters, festivals, fairs. This adds another place where they can go to with a partnership and a sponsor at the county level.
How many people are gonna go through this today here?
I think there's 10 forward.
Step
About
up to
ready?
the mic. Step up to the mic.
Good afternoon, Robert Dunlap, Chief of the Jails here. We've identified over 10 people so far that is ready. They have signed up and they have all of what they need to get their driver's license or state ID.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Is that it?
Thank you very much.
Thank you all so much.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
And thank you, my friend.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Get it always. Thank you so much. What kind of thing?